Well, I've had Fyrefly, my Wrangler, for 4 months and like 5 days. I got her on tax day. April 15th is when I picked her up. I haven't done a whole lot of performance modifications, but I'll show you what I have done. It's mostly cosmetic, but doesn't she look pretty? A couple of the first things I did, I actually ordered them before I picked her up from the dealer, is these steps. They look pretty cool and they work really well. It gives me, I know it cuts down on my ground clearance a little bit, guys, but it does give me a few extra inches to make it easier to get up it, climb up in. And considering I have knee, hip, and back issues, that's a good thing. And these grab bars, I ordered these at the same time. These grab bars are so handy. Because she's a JK and not a JL, she doesn't have the built-in grab bars here. So these were pretty important to get. The next thing I did after the steps and the running boards, or the steps and the grab bars, the first night I had it, or the first week I had it, I had to go from Sioux Falls home about 3 hours, and it got dark about a half an hour into that trip, and I realized my headlights were crappy. The right one didn't work, and the left one was turned sideways and had to be on bright, and I was the butthead, blinding everybody. So I ordered these on Amazon. They're not hugely expensive, but they're pretty nice. They have the halo that's a turn signal. And while I was at it, I got smoked. I didn't mean to order the smoked. There you go. See what they are. Got little stars for my turn signal lights here. I will probably at some point get another set that are not smoked, because I know people like the blacked out look. It's not what I'm going for. You can see I've got an orange and black scheme, so the amber would fit right in. While we're at the front, a couple things going on here besides the headlights and turn signal indicators is these covers for the grill vents slots. I know the 7 slots are iconic, but in a JK, these are just open to the radiator. And if you could see in there, I don't know if you can see through there. Yeah, you can. See how dinged up the radiator is? I was concerned about every tiny little rock coming through and just gradually pinging away at that radiator, those little fins. So I ordered those. By the way, Fyrefly predates the Wrangler. Those were actually on my Cherokee. That's how. So the name was a holdover based on my not license plates. At some point, these will be painted orange to match the color scheme. Excuse me. This hood piece here and the stripes on the side and the names on the side are all from Rebel Decal. Really good working with them. These were special order, but they really weren't much more expensive than the regular ones. The compass rose on here is from an Etsy vendor, Southern Edge Studios. I love this design of this compass rose. So this is actually 2 decals, one the compass rose layered on top of the topographical map. While we're up here on the front, hood latches. If you've ever driven a JK with stock hood latches, you'll know that when you drive by a semi on a 2-lane road, your hood goes brrr, which is a little disconcerting at 65 miles an hour, wondering if your hood's going to flop up into your face. These were really cool, not expensive, not difficult. Another quick and easy one was the antenna. They come with a stock whip, like a good old-fashioned, like from the 70s, chrome antenna that flops around, that if you take it through a car wash, they'll have to take it off, because sitting outside like this, they say the thing will, not the brush, but the cloth things will wrap around it and yank it off anyway. So got that just off of Amazon, like most of this crap. I'm sorry, stuff. There's her name from Rebel Decal. These side decals, the stripes, I really love the way it turned out. Honestly, it's probably the second most expensive thing I've done after the steps. And that's really not saying much. I haven't put any big ticket items into her yet. While we're over here on the side, mud flaps. Again, I know it's taking away my ground clearance, but I'm not turning her into rock crawler, y'all. Some little easy level 3 or 4 or under trails is really all I'm going to be attempting to do. But the first time you go through a lot of mud puddles and you get mud splatter all up the side, I think, well, maybe mud flaps would be a good idea. So, again, Amazon. By the way, these fenders were as faded as this bumper. I haven't done the bumper yet, but I put some of that Restore stuff on here, and it did a pretty good job. Eventually, I would like to replace these with metal color matched, and they make some that have the JL lights here that will fit on a JK. So that's a down the road one. That's honestly the most expensive mod I'm thinking of. But you know, because she is my emotional support vehicle, she's worth it. Cosmetic than anything else is painting this. I wish the colors matched up a little bit, but this was painted long before I got the stripes. And then there's that decal from Southern Edge Studios. See, what do we got around the back? It did not have, when I got her, the third tail lights. They had a spare gas tank on there, which I really had no interest in, and it really cut out my visibility badly. So I had to put that on there. There's a backup camera that goes with the head unit. Trailer hitch cover, again, with Southern Edge Studios decals on it. But while we're here, let's talk about the biggest modification I've done. I did a rear seat delete and built in a sleeping platform. We've got tubs that fit under here perfectly. We can fit like our kitchen stuff in there for camping. There's an air mattress that is made to fit the back of the SUVs. So when you fill it up, it's got little wings to the side to fill it out to the doors. It comes up to about here. It's pretty deep. We're probably going to go with something denser than just an air mattress, more of a memory foam thing, and it's a little less, from 10 inches to about 4 or 5 inches maybe is what we're thinking. Maybe 6, but no more than that, because you can sit up when you're on the air mattress. You got to watch the roll gauge though. Yep, another monkey back here. There's one in the front you'll see in a second. Monkeys were my classroom theme back down in Texas teaching middle school. It will probably be the theme when I go back here in a few weeks. From the side you can see the rear seat delete. How much storage we've got down here. I've got my tools on this side. So it gives quite a bit of space there underneath to go with the space in the back. Stickers, decals are always an inexpensive way to do mods. Well, is it really a mod? Makes it pretty though. Okay, we're inside. Let's go from right to the left. On the door handles, front and back, and the little grab bar here, we've got this vinyl. It's wrap material that I thought I like the way it looks. It touches off. It gets rid of the silvery plastic that, like this. Eventually, I'm going to paint these orange. I just haven't gotten to it yet. Again, we've got the compass roses from Southern Edge Studios off of Etsy, which I really like on the vent covers, on the AC vent covers. And another compass rose here. Stickers, stickers, stickers. Here's the big one in the inside, and probably the one I'm the most unhappy about, displeased with, is this head unit replacement. I got a cheap one on Amazon, and I wish I had waited and saved up a little more money for a better one. It doesn't fit. Look at these gaps. I had to screw this together here because it wouldn't stay snapped together. They've had to replace it once. The first one just, some days it would come on, some days it wouldn't. We drove to Aberdeen on one Saturday, worked perfectly fine. We came out from dinner, got in the car, black screen, wouldn't come on. So, why is it telling me to go to show? So that's it. I'm thinking about, I'm wondering, I think it's Carabotter is what I'm looking at. Not sure I'm pronouncing the name right. But they have a replacement here, but they also have a digital dash to go from analog to digital here. That package together, it's cheaper than buying them separately, but it's still pretty expensive. So that is a down the road, way down the road modification purchase. Now this is the newest one. Because this one is liable to crap out at any time, and if I want to do any filming or videos while I'm driving or in the car, I needed my phone a little handier, so I have this Bullet Point Solutions phone mount that, because I had Amazon points, it only cost me $6 instead of $79. Just put it in last night, so I don't know how well it works, but I'm liking it so far. The latest thing I've done, well, one was a repair, the coachman's loop there. I had to replace that because as I was removing it and putting it back on to put the decal on the hood, one of the little bolts broke off, so I had to replace that. But the other thing is I got rid of the big nipples on the hood. I just didn't like the look. So instead of the big 1.5 inch high, big honking rubber, they're actually bumper stops. If you want to put the windshield down, which I never will. So I just decided to remove them. And it's just a bolt and a washer. Oh, hex Allen head bolt. There's the new coachman's loop. Ooh, sorry. I thought about deleting that as well as the bumper stops, but my wife said that's kind of what makes a Jeep a Jeep. Some years have big bumper stops. The new JK and TJ, the Gladiator and the new Wrangler, have these long pieces. They're like 6 inches long and about 2 inches wide, but they all have a coachman's loop. So coachman's loop stayed. So that's it. That's what I've done so far to my baby. We'll hopefully be taking it on more adventures here soon. Gonna explore the Oahe off-highway vehicle area more. That was pretty cool. It's a lot that I haven't seen, and I'll try to keep you updated on that. And when I get to Texas, there's plenty of new places. So stay tuned.